about
Right on.
James, you there?
Perfect.
Oh, it stands over this live one right there.
And then, yeah,
Are
ours.
these silence
I think those are.
All right, guys, we're ready to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Potawatomi Sportsbook. We got the hometown champion, Anthony Pettis. Showtime here. We're bringing the fights back to Potawatomi this weekend, and look, it's an honor to have you in the studio.
You, Thanks for having us back.
I'm watching these guys. Christian, welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, guys. Man, we, these fights for us are to bring something new to our guests and excitement, and entertainment. And as I've gotten to know you and knowing the entrepreneur, the world champion, even your presence and what you have accomplished is inspiring. Even for me, just being around, I know you work hard and work every day, and you don't even, I see how you are and just in life, but your presence and what you bring to the table and the spotlight you've brought to Milwaukee and to all the young fighters out there across the world that are wanting to be somebody and to use this venue. Your struggle, your story, your background, your family is that's what I feel like Potawatomi is about.
Definitely, man.
And we too, from a hometown perspective, we're now the #1 retail sports book in the country, Potawatomi Sportsbook, owned and operated. And we're sitting in the studio. I was talking to you. I was like, look, we don't have a worldwide audience. We haven't built a network yet, but
Not yet.
But this is how everything
Yeah.
starts with the first jog, the first lift, the first mindset, the first vision of being somewhere, right?
Definitely, man. For us, first sparring session, first time going into classes. Yeah, same. We see it here, man. Like, we feel welcomed here, and all the athletes that get to come here and experience Potawatomi and fight in the presence of this place, I know they feel it too. Because I remember, like I was talking before, like my first fight was at a Harley Davidson dealership out on Highway 100. They cleared all the motorcycles out, and we were inside of a Harley Davidson dealership. So see the growth and where we're at now and the partnership we formed, it's amazing.
And Potawatomi is continuing to develop our mobile sports book that will be geo-fenced on property. So we will not only have retail in the first quarter of next year, we'll also have a full mobile presence. And I think that's just going to elevate our game here. I'm sporting Potawatomi Digital.
Be crazy.
We started a whole new division of Potawatomi to prepare for the digital gaming front. And that's going to continue to bring us more bandwidth, more support, so that we can continue to get involved in sports at this level. But
More customers too. More customers.
So, listen, man, let's talk about what's been cooking, man. You've been putting this fight together. We've been talking about it. I know my team's worked hard. Your team's worked hard. What really comes to mind about the excitement of the fights tonight or this weekend that you're thinking about?
I mean, there's some great fights in the card, but so we lost our coach last week. Duke Rufus he had a heart attack. He died in his sleep. 55 years old, unexpected. So I feel like everybody in the card has a chip on their shoulder to go make Coach proud. Like to make his body of work show inside this cage on Sunday. So most of the fights on the card are from Rufus Sports. There's a lot of guys that homegrown guys that train with Duke since they were kids. I think, Christian, how did you start with Duke?
I was 14 when I started with Duke, so I've been with him for like 13 years now.
Wow.
And Christian got to the UFC off of Duke's platform. Myself, I started Duke when I was 17. So he's changed so many lives and helped so many people. I feel like this weekend's going to be a lot about giving back to Duke and his legacy.
Well, look, my condolences to you guys. Understanding our mentors and our father figures like that, or they support us in more ways than one.
Definitely, man.
So I feel you there, man, and that makes this weekend special.
So much.
And whatever we can do to continue on that legacy. Obviously, he touched some lives, and I'm sure, like in our way, how proud he would be of what you have accomplished and what you continue to do, and to continue to fight for the city, for the youth, to give them something to participate. You just need an ounce of belief and an opportunity, man. And you and I talk about that a lot, man. It's when hard work meets opportunity, when changes happen, right?
Exactly.
And,
for preparation.
Nobody can stop losses, but change can only make us stronger to deal with it. It can only make us, in our mind and in our subconscious, a better person to be prepared and to deal with it, and to note that that light and what we can continue to carry on. So I'm proud to be a part of that.
Appreciate it.
And that just gives a whole nother layer to what everybody's mindset. So thank you for sharing that, because that insight into coming to this fight's not just another normal fight, man.
Yeah,
This is your guys' time and your moment.
Yeah.
About it. Maybe talk a little bit about who he was as a person, because I didn't have a chance to sit down with him, but I'm sure what comes
what
from
he
you
instilled in me,
yeah.
for sure, man. So I met Duke when I was 17. So my dad was killed in a house robbery on the south side of Milwaukee here, and my first outlet was martial arts. So I joined Duke's gym when I was 16 and a half, 17 years old. I remember walking into his gym. I was a young kid, didn't know what I was expecting. I just was trying to relieve some stress and some energy from what happened to my dad. And Duke just took me under his wing. A quote that he told me as a kid, right when I walked into his gym. He's a man of many quotes. He had so many quotes, and some good ones, some fun ones too. But the one he told me that resonated with me, and I live my life by that, is the best revenge is massive success. And my father's murder was never solved. So I was thinking, like, I used to work at Charlie's Grilled Subs. And I remember thinking, like, on 27th Street here, and I remember thinking, like, man, I could be like serving the guy that killed my dad. Like, I'm on the grill, and like that was always those thoughts going through my head. And when I met Duke, he gave me an outlet. He gave me a way to like just forget about all that. And then when he told me that quote, everything we did, we lived by that. And he was one of those guys that didn't want you just to come try out martial arts. So like, if you were going to be a fighter, you had to be a champion. There's no like going to try it. Like we're going to the top. We're going to be the best. And he instilled that, I think, in all his students. So like for sure for me, like when he told me that quote, it resonated with me so much that I just lived my life by that. What business opportunities, my relationship with my wife, my kids, like I'm all in on everything I do. And I got to thank Duke for that, because when I was a 16-year-old kid, I was trying to find my way in life. Like I didn't know who I was going to be, what I wanted to become, and Duke just helped me out so much with that, man. So like losing my first father like that, in a night of violence, and then my second father, it's unexpected. It's like, it's crazy. Milwaukee's given me so much, but it also took a lot from me. So when I think about Duke's legacy and what he's gave to me and gave to everybody else, all I can do is think, like, I got to make this man proud.
Man, and what he says about that champion mindset, you hear it just every day. It's a vision, it's a belief, it's I am, and you ain't walking out there saying I think, or I might, or you might, at the end of the day, this conversation's about I am. We are going to be champions. You're going to be world champions. We're going to fight to be it, and if we fail, we're going to get back up. We're going to try a little harder. We don't expect that life's going to hand it out to us either. We're going to expect setbacks. Yeah. We're gonna expect things not only in our life, in our business, and not just the fights. I mean,
relationships. He helped me with so much, man. Like growing up as a 16-year-old kid, I remember going to my first homecoming. Duke was there. Going to my prom. Going to having my first child. Duke was part of everything that I've ever done. Man, me and him had some crazy times. We traveled the world together. We would spend the night in hotels from Christian too, Tuesday to Sunday. So we show up for fight week on a Tuesday. We'd fight on Saturday night and go home on Sunday nights. So I spent a lot of time with him in countries all over the world that I thought I'd never see, and just those talks that he gave me, and those, and, at the time, if Duke was a talker. Like he could talk, and you knew, like, if you answered the phone to talk to Duke, it was an hour conversation at least. Like there's no quick combos with Duke. But like when I think about what I'm gonna miss most, man, is those combos and those little moments of like just clarity. Like when I was on the fence and I didn't know what I was gonna do, or like when my career, my career went skyrocket in the first 5 years of my career, and then we had a little downfall for 3 fights in a row. I lost 3 fights in a row. So I was on the covers of a Wheaties box to 3 losses in a row, and Duke was by my side for all that. All the hospital visits, the celebration parties, to the hospital visits, to rebounding and figuring out again. Duke gave me that will and that strength to do that.
Well, you're the perfect guy to carry on that legacy, man, and instill
Appreciate
that. I know even since we met, I felt to help me inspire myself in business. As we got, as we look at what we do every day, having that kind of mindset.
Mutual,
to
man.
be the
Seeing
best,
what you're doing here, seeing what you're doing here, just makes me push harder. So
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It's all about the team and the people around you, and the team that I selected continues to deliver, and we take care of each other and make sure that.
Family, yeah.
we all stay in focus, and that we can continue down this successful path too. So, fights this weekend. All right. I mean, what in your mind? What any one of the fights that in your mind that you're really? And then we also got Oliveira here.
Charles
come
Oliveira,
on,
coming off a big win too. So I feel like the city's excited. But I think on the card, Roland Dunlap, he's our 185-pound champion from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. His dad teaches at Kosciuszko, the training center there. He teaches like karate, so like deep roots. But if he wins this fight, he's probably will be in the UFC. So like we need a big performance from him. Obviously the guy he's trying to fight is a good fighter. He could go take his shine. So like in the fight game, nothing's guaranteed. So that's my number one pick is our main event, Roland Dunlap, 185-pound title. We have Gabe Wanderlei, my jiu-jitsu coach's son, another guy that I trained with since he was like 10 years old. He's a man now.
I think younger too, right?
Yeah, I think younger.
Probably 9 or 8.
Yeah, he was a young kid.
Yeah.
We all trained with him, but he's making his for APFC debut, so he's going to be on the card. He's another guy to look forward to go to the UFC very soon. My little cousin Angelo Pettis, Yasir Ramos. Who else we got on the card? You got any guys?
Jose
Vasquez. Yeah.
yeah.
So we got so many of Rufus Sport guys on the card that I feel like all these guys have something to prove. So I think the fans are in for a treat. It's going to be a great night of fights. Oliveira's coming in to support, to meet all the fans. He's coming off of a great. I don't know if you've seen his last fight. Yeah, it was a nasty. Those Brazilians are on fire right now. So he's coming in. He's coming from Brazil, all the way from Brazil. I had to bring him in from Rio. So he gets in on Sunday morning. So yeah, we got a lot of fun things planned for this weekend.
So it could be life changing this weekend. Somebody could punch their ticket to the UFC, and that's you and your team and you guys bringing that to the city and giving somebody that opportunity's down there for someone. So I mean, look, we haven't created a worldwide network with the Sportsbook, but everything starts here.
Exactly.
And for that opportunity and to see somebody, they fighting for everything that they work for in their entire life.
100%, man.
That's what's going
from the
down.
First fight of the night to the end. And so this card was so stacked that UFC Fight Pass, our production partner, allowed us to put the whole main card on their platform. So instead of 5 fights, we got 10 fights on UFC Fight Pass. So all these guys get a chance to shine.
And the cool thing too is they don't do that for every fight promotion.
No, not at all.
No.
Yeah, the matchups have to be done correctly, and the guys have to be next in line or close to the next in line. And UFC just signed their deal with Paramount, a $7.7 billion 7-year contract.
Wow,
crazy, man. And I was part of this company when right after they bought it for $2 million in '93. I was already like fighting for the WEC, coming up to the WEC to see the growth of what MMA is doing right now. It's insane. Dana White has a lot to do with that. You met Dana out there in Vegas. That guy's like us. He's one of the hardest working guys I ever known, and he doesn't take shit from nobody, and he tells it how it is. And some people like it, some people don't like it, but you got to respect it.
That's how Duke was too.
Exactly. Duke and Dana got along very well. Duke had a lot of people that loved him, a lot of people that hated him, not personally, but his business ways. Like he was like, this is gonna get done this way, and if you were part of that team, then you were part of that team.
Man, I get that mentality, and you can see it from the success. And I do want to talk some more about UFC business and what you see for the future. Christian, I wanted to kind of open up to you and talk about what's going through the mindset of the fighter. It's Milwaukee, it's the crowd and the town and the people, man. Just talk a little bit about what the routine, what they're up against, and what they're about to face.
I think they're facing a lot of questions in their head right now. I feel like they're going through some things, but I feel like us being a small team at Rufus Sport, I feel like it brings us all very, very together. It's like we all help each other out and we all support each other. So I feel like when the fighters fight this weekend, they're going to feel all the fans, everybody knows them. So it's different, It's like when you fight in an arena with a lot of random fans, it feels really good. But then when your family's coming, your girlfriend's coming, your teammates, some
kids.
Kids.
Yeah.
It's like, or some of the fighters, they coach the kids too at the gym. so their parents are coming. So it's like I feel like it puts more pressure on them. But it's like the good kind of pressure. It's like that good kind of pressure that everybody needs, and it makes them fight even better.
Man, yeah, well, they're gonna be laying it all on the line this week, and you see what's up for grabs and what they really have to go against. Man, that's difficult, but exciting too. I've seen the fights. I've been in the room, man, and the energy is legit. And just like that, we do respect the partnership and the fighters, and we treat them as though they were walking into Las Vegas on a worldwide UFC fight. Is our mentality too.
That's the biggest thing I hear from the fighters. Like, man, the rooms were amazing. The way the staff was treating us, like they feel like professional athletes, and that's how they should feel. Because like the sport's growing like crazy. It's just one of those sports that isn't quite to the NBA, NFL. We don't have enough years yet, but it's going to get there. It's going to get to where boxing's at. It's going to get to where all the big sports are.
And Potawatomi is all about Milwaukee, man. So making the connection with the hometown heroes and letting them have an opportunity here on this stage is powerful for us. That's what we're about. And as we get Potawatomi Sportsbook continue to get that started and put that platform up, who knows where we can do or what we can accomplish. But let's talk about some of the future of Pettis and your fights, and what are you thinking in your mindset in the next, 1 to 3 years with what you want to grow and be a part of the business? Is there a new avenue of business? You have a particular line of business that you want to expand and continue to grow to pipe into?
Yeah, definitely, man. So this is show number 20 for me. So it's crazy to even say that. Like, I'm 3 years in the game, 20 shows in. I just signed my new deal for the next 2 years. So I get 12 to 14 fights for the next 2 years. So I got a lot of opportunity to grow this brand. We're launching India December 5th. So I'm going out to India. So I went out to India and did a boxing show out there, and just to see what was going on. I have a little brother fight on the card. They got some talent, but they just don't have the platform or the stage to actually showcase it. So I'm going out to India December 5th, giving a whole new country a place to showcase their skill set. We're launching Puerto Rico next year. We're launching Greece, and then we're going to continue our growth here in the States. So APFC has big plans for next year and the following year. And my other our business is management. So we have a Showtime Management, which Christian's one of our fighters.
Yeah.
One of our top fighters right now. And homegrown guy. I wanted to put all my support. I wanted to learn what somebody that I actually cared about, and then I'm doing that. So I'm like giving this guy all the advice that I wish I would have had as a kid growing up or as a fighter growing up, and from contracts to taxes to buying your first property, cars, like being able to sustain that. So, like, I was blessed to be able to do this for 20 years. I turned pro when I was 18, and I'm 38 now. So 20 years as a professional martial artist. But I had a lot of experience. I went through so many managers. So like that's the next step of this, is creating the management platform for the fighters that are fighting on APFC to take them to the UFC and show them how it's supposed to be really done, and make them feel like they're part of a team, opposed to having to argue with your manager about getting fights or having to find your own sponsors. So it's like it's still growing. Like as UFC does the Paramount deal, no more pay-per-views. So like now the platform for these guys are going to be that much bigger. The people don't have to pay to watch these fights anymore. The audience is going to be like NFL, NBA. You get to watch it every Saturday night. Dana White is the leader in all this, and he's a good friend of mine. So like I get a lot of advice from him. So he started his Contender Series. Dana White Contender Series is how the guys get into the UFC.
Yep.
So they fight on my show. They win on APFC. Then they go to Contender Series. They win on Contender Series, then they get a contract into the big show. So I'm just following the path, man. Like whatever he sets out, I just kind of just go to the lower level of that. Make sure the guys that are working, and they got to work for it obviously as well. Just signing with us doesn't mean that you're gonna make it, but these guys that are working really hard, they have an opportunity to go from fighting for me, like fighting in Harley Davidson dealerships to the UFC. But here they're fighting on a platform where they can be proud of it. Like when they take these pictures and they post it and they put it on social media, they're proud of these moments. So it makes me feel proud of what I was able to give back to the community of mixed martial arts as well.
Man, I listening to him, you hear about people achieving goals, man, and you want to be great. You seen what he's achieved, and then you just heard him. I mean, I could have drawn a whole map of, where his vision is, right? And it's about having that vision, because if you can't see it in reality, like, picture yourself on that house, on that beach, in the most beautiful place that you want to be and what you want, you're not gonna get there. But Definitely. What you heard from him that, is indicative of people who are successful that have visions is that they can map that vision out and that they can truly see it. Every time he goes to bed, he's already thinking of a new avenue. Last time I talked to him, and now he's taking his business, he's scaling it to markets that he know that are underserved with big potential, and to get out there in order to build the groundwork, build the framework. I mean, you arguably, could be running one of the largest management of fighters in the world, following behind them, picking them up, stacking it, building it, scaling up, keeping them rolling in the fights, and you and yourself are figuring out how you as an entrepreneur continue to pipe into that growth and be a part of it and reset your growth curve. So I can, not a lot of leaders or, people talk about I want to be the best. Okay, but how are we going to get there?
Yeah,
what are
the A, B,
what
and
are the
C,
actions,
for sure.
right? Because it's doubt in your mind that stops you. You just sit around and you can't. You gotta get up. You gotta do that next exercise. You got to do that next workout. You got to read that next book. You got to, and it's just those start adding up. And I can see it because I've been blessed to be around it and just kind of watch the model and this thought process. So congrats on the success and the mindset. I certainly see that you're driving this vehicle to new heights and making Milwaukee proud, making the hometown proud, and recognizing us and bringing this here for the people. And it's a great avenue. The city needs it. The city, like all other cities, they continue to struggle with what's happening, day to day. I try and tell them, man, we're not just here to survive, we're here to thrive. We've heard that part. And, I continue to say that message, and then, together in Milwaukee, no matter who our cultures are, if we stick together, we can rise, we can make Milwaukee a better place. I want to see it that, future generations grow up here, have great education, healthcare, and opportunities in Milwaukee. I mean, that's what
it's all about.
You want to see that. I know each of us, we didn't come from silver spoons, man. We had to work hard, and when opportunities came, we took the risks. We took them. We believed in ourselves and continued to push forward, and we do that every day. So
the risk, what you said, that's the biggest part. I try to teach all these guys that. There's so many fighters now. Like when I was up and coming, there wasn't that many. There was fighters, but they weren't trying to become fighters since they were 5 years old, 6 years old. It was like, all right, I did a little bit of taekwondo, or I did wrestling, and now let me try this out. But now these kids are training to become fighters. At 5 years old, they're starting to do jiu-jitsu, wrestling, kickboxing. So the growth of the sport is insane. But that risk-taking factor, that's what you can't teach. Guys that if you ever watch him fight, he takes risks. He goes out there, he tries to win the fight opposed to just being part of it. So when you find somebody like that, all right, this guy can be a champion. And if he becomes a champion, and like him, all of us, our careers can't last that long, especially as martial artists. Your body can only take so much, but what's next? So you got to have an identity after fighting. That a lot of fighters it's just first generation. The first generation of fighters were so caught up in just being their fight name or being a fighter. They never had something that was they didn't have anything to occupy their time when it was done. And I feel like that's where the downfall happens, when you're all right, I did this amazing body of work in martial arts, now what's next? And then you feel less of a, I guess we are pretty much superstars now. When I go places everywhere around the world, I'm like, man, it's crazy. Japan, people recognize me. China, India, I had so many people recognize me. So it's insane. But then if I didn't have something to put my time and focus to after fighting, then I'd be just like everybody else. I'd be stuck. So I feel like that's what I want to teach these guys. It's all right, well, we're gonna have a great career. We're gonna become champions. But right after that identity's done, where are you transferring into? Where's that energy going to?
So, look, vision and risk, I mean, you hear that all the time in business, and there is no reward without risk. And I know, speaking from experience, man, you got to lay it all on the line. A lot of times, sold everything I got to get my next job. Believe in myself. Here we go. I'm gonna have to go and deliver, and there is no not. I'm gonna work as hard as I possibly can. There'll be no shortage of me not working hard. We're gonna go after it. And
while you got the time, while you got the moment.
And I'm like you. Raised around my father was always to do things right. Right tool for the right job, get things out of the way, and that mindset of just taking steps and believing that you're going to get it done right. In his mind, that was, achieving greatness, and then, just believing in yourself, having a vision and dreaming of it. If you can't dream of it, you're not going to achieve it. But if you keep dreaming of it, man, you keep believing in it and believing in yourself, and just keep that mindset, man, it's that can really lift you. I mean, look, you guys are doing it. we're proud to be a part of it. And man, I hope everybody comes out this weekend to see the fights. It's going to be exciting. You hopefully can feel some of the heart and the love of what goes in to these fights, that it's just, you know, more than another UFC fight. We got something on the line here, and it means something to their mentors, and this is going to be a special weekend. So
Definitely.
thank you guys for
man.
bringing
Appreciate
this.
it. Appreciate you having us out here. And we're almost sold out, too. So, again, we're having another sold out here show in Potawatomi. So the city's supporting, and I appreciate everybody. And thank you, guys.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you at the fight on Sunday. All right.